So hi, well, Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with,
Casey from Virginity.
and we're gonna ask them some questions today. I'm gonna start. So, what inspired the creation of the band, and what does the band name mean?
Okay, so what inspired the creation of the band? I'm old. That's a good place to start.
Okay. All right.
I'm not that old, but I feel like an old man in the scene because I'm almost 34.
Yeah, you're getting up there in scene age.
Oh my god.
I might as well be fucking a million.
Yeah, you're like you're the father figure.
Oh.
It is funny, I will say, to watch some of the younger bands kind of going through sort of the same hurdles that I saw when I was going to shows literally 20 years ago. Things just repeat themselves.
Yeah.
So anyways, I had been out of music for a long time. I stopped playing in bands when I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just I did a ration of other like creative projects. I made comic books for a little while, and then the last thing I did was stand-up comedy. I did for 5 years.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
And so I started feeling really stagnant with stand-up. Like the thing is, when you start in a small city, which is like I was doing stand-up where I'm from in Daytona Beach, Florida, and in Orlando and Jacksonville, is that once you get to a certain place, you should probably move to like a big city and really try.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to do that. So I started feeling real stagnant, and I was dealing with all kinds of mental health stuff. So I started writing songs to kind of get through that. And that wound up being the first Virginity LP, but it wasn't started as a band. It was like a recording project that I didn't even know would see the light of day necessarily.
Okay.
That's fair. And the name, Virginity.
So
Yeah.
once it became clear, because we worked on that first record for like a year, that it was going to see the light of day, I was like, well, we got to put something on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm not just going to go by my name because that feels weird to me.
Fair enough.
I'm not fucking John Mayer or whatever.
That's fair. Yeah.
So I just started asking people, and one of my buddies who's a comedian named Shaw Smith was like, he just started sending me stuff, and one of the ones he sent me was Virginity, and I was like, that's really dumb.
I hate the band name, but it fits so well. I love it. I love it, but I also hate it.
Me too. And it's terrible for like SEO. You cannot just Google Virginity. No one's ever going to find me.
Yeah.
It's horrible for that. It's horrible just for straight up marketing. Everything, pretty much.
But it fits. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it as our band name, but at the same time, like, I avoid telling people I'm even in a band simply so I don't have to tell them the name.
Because then they go, why? And you're like, well, I don't have a good enough reason.
Yeah, it's just like no real reason. Somebody said it and I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Like the humor of a 5-year-old.
And it wasn't taken already.
Exactly. Yeah, it was free. I actually want to bring this up before we go on to the next question. You mentioned that you were a stand-up comedian for 5 years, which is a long time. In that time, which one do you think is harder to do, stand-up comedy or being a band? Because being a stand-up comedian, you're on the stage alone, right? With a band, you're kind of with your friends. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, stand-up's harder.
Yeah.
There's no because even when you start to get good at stand-up, and even great stand-ups that have done it for years will tell you this, a lot of it is just not doing well because you have to just constantly be trying stuff out. And it just doesn't go well, and you're by yourself, and there's this weird camaraderie you have with other comedians where you like look at each other's eyes and you're like, this person knows humiliation and pain and awkwardness so well. You get so well acquainted with it. And when you're in a band and you're doing a show, if it's not going well, you're just like, you're looking at your buddies, you're like, we're fucking up.
Oh, look at us. We're doing all this silly. Okay, that's fair. Thank you. Because I was very curious. So congratulations on your most recent release, Nosferattitude, the vampire song. Did I say that properly?
Sure. Nosferattitude. I say Nosferattitude.
Nosferattitude. Okay, that makes sense as well. How do you feel the response to the single so far?
It's good. Everybody that has checked it out seems to have liked it. I never know what to expect when we put something out in the world. Like my natural inclination is to be like, no one's going to listen to this. Pretty much every time. I'm sure most people feel like that, or I hope they do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They do. From the people we've spoken to, I think. Yeah.
It keeps your expectations at the bare minimum.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it's doing virginity business in terms of like how many people are checking it out. We haven't seemed to have lost anybody in the interim of not putting music out or playing shows. So
yeah,
that's as good as I could. I put no expectations on these things except for I expect it to fail. So when it doesn't, as bad as I expect it to, whoop,
we fell.
Sorry, I just have this propped up against something. Then I feel great about it. So it's great.
Yeah.
So is there any meaning behind the single name or the cover art?
Because we mentioned a vampire in it, we were like, we want to have some kind of vampire name, and we spent I don't know, an hour in the group chat just like sending vampire puns back and forth. And the first like vampire movie, black and white movie, is called Nosferatu. And I was like, and one of us said Nosferattitude, and I was like, that's awesome. So that's that. Yeah, just a vampire pun. No, great. And the song's not about vampires at all, really.
Yeah.
So.
All right, that's fair. And the cover art.
Oh, cover art. That was done by an Orlando artist named Eric McGrew. Fuck, I hope I'm saying his last name right.
Hopefully, you can only hope. Yeah.
And we were just like looking for single art, and we were going through his Instagram, and that was something he had posted like years ago. So we just asked him. I was like, "Hey, was this for anything?" Or he was like, "No, it's just kind of a doodle." And I was like, "Can we buy it from you?" And he was like, "Sure." And that's that. It had vampire teeth, and that was good enough for me.
Okay,
solid. All right. So can you tell me a little bit about your writing process for the single?
Sure. So the writing process for this song and all this is the first single off our record that's going to come out later.
Okay.
We haven't announced that yet, but
yeah, I was going to say I didn't see anything about that, but
no, we just sort of threw a single out there. But next month we'll start really announcing things.
All right.
So wait, what was I talking about?
Writing process for this song.
Writing process. Yes. So this song, like all the other songs on the record, as soon as we went into pandemic quarantine, we're like, well, we can't write or we can't play shows or anything, so let's just get into writing. And this was a really weird writing process because we weren't even seeing each other. We weren't even working in the same rooms. Like I would play 30 seconds of something and then send it to our drummer, Jim. Yeah. And he would be like, I'm thinking this, and he would send it back to me, and we would just go back and forth. We demoed, and then once we got the songs like together, we would demo it. I would play guitar and sing at my house, send it to Jim, and he would put drums on it, and then we'd send it to our bass player Jordan. He'd put bass on it, and that's how we demoed the entire album, is at our various separate houses.
Yeah, sounds like ping pong, just kind of going back and forth. No, I want to do this.
It was, and it made for a really, I don't know, I feel like everybody probably feels like their newest stuff is their best stuff, but I feel like the writing process made this stuff really kind of weird, a little bit weirder, because we wrote it so disjointedly. So yeah, that was the writing process for this. Oh, and this song specifically was the week that Adam Schlesinger from Fountains of Wayne passed away. And I was just listening to tons of Fountains of Wayne and like other things that Adam had wrote, which is like the song from That Thing You Do and like the Josie and the Pussycats soundtrack. And he was just like a pop song genius. So it was a little bit of an homage to like Fountains of Wayne songs.
Oh, all right.
And since you said like you wrote obviously this song and the rest of the album kind of socially distanced and in your own homes, how was that transition from working like in a room together on the last record to kind of having to go your separate ways and do it over Zoom? Was it a difficult transition for you guys?
It was more like a fun problem solving thing.
Okay.
It was like, yeah, we were just like, well, how can we do this if we can't be in the same room? And then we figured out a way to do it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So it was like, what is the saying? Like, whatever is the mother of creation. Necessity is the mother of creation.
Oh, yeah.
We couldn't be in a room together, so we figured it out, and it was fun.
All right.
That's good.
I don't know that I'd want to do it this way again.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's fair. Yeah, if you have the choice whether to meet up with people and write in person or do it over, I'd choose in person as well.
Yeah. So I want you to pick your favorite lyric off this album or off this single. Sorry, and tell us the meaning
if you want to talk
behind
about the album, that's cool too. You know.
Oh, I don't care. We can talk about it. I'll spoil stuff.
Okay. What's the name of it?
It's called Pop Mortem.
Okay, that's cool. I like that a lot. How many tracks are on it?
10 tracks. We wrote 18.
Oh my god. Wait, where'd the other 8 go?
They didn't make the cut.
Okay.
They went back in the folder.
Yeah. Okay,
because we were like, let's overwrite, and we did, and then we just sort of whittled it down to like, what stood the test of what was good enough.
Okay, that's fair. Sorry, I cut you off. You said ask about it, and I went in.
Yeah, no sweat.
Favorite lyric and the meaning behind it off of this track.
Off of this track, let me think. Well, I guess for really the song overall, I was pretty proud of this one in terms of like in the verse, like I kept everything to senses. Like I'm like, I can't see this, I can't hear this tastes bad, whatever.
Yeah.
Like so I made like at a certain, after I did like the first 2 lines, which was like see and hear, I was just like, okay, so this is all senses.
Yeah.
And so that's what I stuck with, and I felt like it didn't suck at the end of it. So I'm just stoked that I was like, I picked like a theme and went with it. Yeah. So in that way, like both of the verses I'm really proud of.
As you should be. All right, that's cool. So can you tell me where your headspace was at while you were creating this track?
Sure. So this is so like kind of the theme of the new record, if there was one, is there's a lot of songs about writing songs.
Okay. All right.
Because that's kind of what I was dealing, like we were booking a tour right before pandemic happened, so because we had just put out Death to the Party, our EP, and so I expected to tour on that for a little bit, and that didn't happen, and so we're like, well, let's just work on a record to keep momentum going, but I wasn't really ready to start writing yet. And so a bunch of the songs wound up about being like about my frustration with writing songs.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. So that was my headspace, as I was just like, I'm trying to write songs, but I just got done writing songs.
Yeah.
Like I really don't have it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it was all like on an empty tank. And then also like there's a certain amount of me that like, even though I've written a million songs over like the last, 20 years that I've been playing music, every time I write one, I'm like, well, I'll probably never be able to do that again.
Oh, yeah.
And that's specifically what this song is about, really, is like, even though like it's in the chorus, I'm like, it doesn't matter how many times I've passed, I'm 100% sure that this one's the last. Like eventually people are going to be like, I feel this isn't going to happen, but I feel like people are going to be like, you're not really a songwriter.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
On a lighter note,
Yeah.
what band or artist?
Sorry, I'm so down on
No.
on myself.
You're good.
It's all good. You're being honest. It's fine.
Yeah. So what band or artist influence do you think you can hear the most on this single?
On this single? Yeah. I mean, there's definitely, because that's all I was listening to is like Fountains of Wayne stuff on here.
Yep.
So there's definitely that going on. And then there's always a certain amount of like Rosenstock and Roswell Kid influence that's kind of, on everything that we do a little bit. Like it's hard for me to distance myself from that inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. That's fair. So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this single for new listeners in 3 words.
3 words.
3 words.
Where
are we starting?
Let me think. Okay. 3 words.
Okay.
Oh, this single.
It's supposed to be quick.
Fun.
Okay.
That's
1.
Okay, fun.
Yeah.
Sing-alongable. I've got hyphens in there.
That's okay. That's a lot of hyphens. Okay.
And danceable.
All right. I agree.
I think this is like
those, yeah.
I like to I know I've just been sitting here talking about like what a fucking sad sack depressed person I am. I'm not really like that. I like that space to live in the lyrics, and I don't necessarily want the music to reflect that.
Yeah. That's fair.
So like I like our songs to sound like our single from our EP Bad Call is a great example. That's about having panic attacks, but it's a fun song.
It is.
Yeah, as long as you can groove to it.
Exactly. It has 2 sides to it. If you want to cry, listen to the lyrics. If you want to dance, just listen to the rhythm. It's good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Balance.
I like that juxtaposition.
So is there a certain feeling you want listeners to have while going through this single? Do you want them to cry? Do you want them to dance? Do you want them to dance and cry at the same time?
I want them to do whatever they feel like doing to it. If they have any response to it at all, I'm stoked. If it makes someone feel something, that's great.
Okay.
That's good. So you kind of mentioned that you guys are announcing an album next month. What else can you tell us about it? Stuff that I already haven't asked direct questions about.
It's fucking really good.
Okay.
I think I'm so excited about it. Oh, I can tell you this for sure. This is kind of out in the world. It was we recorded it by ourselves at our own studio, which is what we've done up to this point. Yeah. Except for normally we would mix and master it ourselves, and we got Jack Shirley to mix and master it, who did like all the Jeff Rosenstock records and Gouge Away and stuff. So it was very exciting. He made it sound so much better than we could have. Yeah, it just, I feel like it's like a level or 2 up from where we were in terms of like clarity.
Yeah. That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. Like that's really exciting. Cool. Yeah, because you just mentioned Jeff Rosenstock's like one of your biggest influences. So like just being able to work with his producer.
Yeah, it was really, it was cool. It was something that because we just recently went from Wiretap Records to Smart Punk Records, and moving to Smart Punk afforded us, not like a huge budget, but a little budget to like do production stuff. And since we had already recorded it, we were like, well, we can spend the entire production budget they gave us on something.
Yeah.
And they suggested, they were like, well, go find someone to mix and master it. Like whose records do you like? And we're like, well, we all love the Rosenstock records. And so we looked it up, and we were like, oh, this guy Jack Shirley did all of them. And they were like, just reach out to him. We're like, just reach out. And they're like, yeah, I mean, this is their
we
job.
have his email.
Yeah.
They want money.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I guess that's true. I just no part of me was like, I should reach out to someone I really admire.
Yeah. Yeah. They're right there. Yeah.
And it was no big deal. And also for any other bands that might be listening to this, fucking reasonably priced, extremely reasonably priced.
Okay. All
right.
I highly suggest Jack Shirley does a great job, and he's not going to rake you over the coals.
All right.
Solid. You love to hear it.
So where do you see the band in the next 5 years?
Oh, I hope still making records. We're going to tour some. We're starting to work on that a little bit. Oh. We have one really exciting thing coming up that I definitely can't talk about. I'll tell you guys when we stop recording this.
Okay.
Ah,
All
okay,
right.
okay.
Okay, fair enough. As long as we get to know.
But I'm not allowed to have it be out in the world yet.
Okay, that's fair.
But so yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll just still be recording and touring when we can.
Okay.
But
Solid.
my only goal is to be able to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. All right. So this question is short and sweet. What song do you wish you wrote?
Yeah. God. How is that supposed to be short?
No, I meant like the delivery is short. We're still working on that.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with that one for now.
It's a great question.
Thank you.
Maybe Can't Hardly Wait by The Replacements.
Okay.
Oh, no.
That's like one of my favorite songs. I also really love the song. Like lyrically, I think it might be my favorite song of all time. Landslide by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh,
Like everybody knows that song. I love that song.
Solid. All right.
So for the last couple of questions, we're going to shift away from music completely and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So
Cool.
if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Okay, I've been thinking about this, and I knew the question was coming.
Mm-hmm. It's here now.
And I have decided what I would like is just like a really good cheeseburger,
Ooh, yeah.
just like a great cheeseburger, onion rings, chocolate shake.
Okay.
That's solid. That's good. That's really good. All right. So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Ooh.
Did you prepare for this one as well?
One fictional world. I was not prepared for this one.
Come on.
I know I should have thought of this one already. There's so many good fictional worlds.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that my stock answer would have been to be in Harry Potter world.
Yeah.
Because I love Harry Potter. But I hate to support fucking turf rowling.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I want to go to Harry Potter world anymore.
That's fair. But hypothetically, if you were, what house would you be in?
Oh, I know that probably lots of people say this, and when people give this answer, people are like, bullshit. Everybody thinks that. I am a fucking Gryffindor.
Okay.
Sell it to me. Sell it to me.
I mean, I'm pure of heart, dog.
I don't know what a Gryffindor, like what it entails.
Yeah, you haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah,
you're a Gryffindor.
Yeah. So fictional worlds, I don't know. Maybe I'd go hang out in like Metropolis with like Superman, because nothing can really go that wrong there.
Yeah, because Superman's
still see
there.
it. Yeah, exactly. He's invincible, so I could just like watch him fly around.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
So I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question.
Oh my god!
What's your favorite color?
Yellow.
Oh, did you say
Specific
yellow?
shade of yellow.
Kind of I like a bright yellow.
Okay.
So true. You're the second yellow we've gotten today. I'm very happy.
If I didn't have shoes on, I would show you that I went and got a pedicure with my wife, and they were like, "Do you want your nails painted?" And I was like, "Sure." And I picked out this bright yellow, and the lady that was doing my pedicure thought I was joking around, and she got up to leave, and I was like, "Oh, so we're not going to do the paint?" She was like, "Oh, you really want this?" And I was like,
"Oh my god!"
I was like, I guess.
I mean, not anymore. You're being mean about it.
Exactly. What?
And then right after that, I have like I have a purse. I carry a purse. And afterwards she goes to hand me my shoes, and my purse is on the ground next to it, and she was like, "This is hers." And I was like, "No, that's mine too."
Yeah.
And she was just like, oof.
So she was being rude.
Wow.
She just shook her head.
Oh my god. Put a bad review up for that. Rate him like 0 on Yelp or whatever it is.
It was both embarrassing, and also when we left, I laughed for like 15 minutes at how uncomfortable it made her.
Yeah. It's so
All right. Well, that is all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
No, not really, outside of follow us on the socials and go stream Nosferattitude, and there will be another song next month that I am really excited to come out. And we made a music video for it that'll be out too. That is it's fucking really funny, I think.
All right. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Personnel. This has been Casey from Virginity, and we're the Good Noise Podcast.